discipline. If your business relies on discipline to work and operate every day and grow, you don't have a business, you have a job. You know, growing up, my parents used to always tell me I was lazy and that I had bad habits and that I didn't want to wake up early and that I didn't want to do what I needed to do. And you know what? That lack of discipline and lack of habits has allowed me to build 3 separate 7-figure businesses that I've either sold or that I'm operating today. And so your goal in business should not be to become more disciplined or build more habits. It should be to make discipline completely irrelevant. And if that's what you want, you are in the right place. On this video, I'm going to talk about how to think in a completely different way and how to create a business that not only runs without you, but runs without discipline, runs without habits, and allows you to create freedom in your business and in your life. Like I said, if that's what you want, you're in the right place. Let's rock and roll. At its core, every business needs to have 3 things going right in order for that business to make money, be profitable, and be successful. I don't care whether you're selling lemonade on the corner or you're selling Teslas to the masses. You need these 3 things. And so what you want to think about is not how are these things going to get done, but who is going to do them and how are they going to get done without you being directly involved every single day and relying on discipline and habits. So let's go through these. By the way, remember, you need all of them. So you got to make sure you watch until the end so you see how all 3 of these fit together. All right, the first thing you need is administration. So administration is the backbone of everything. And unfortunately, it's typically the thing that most entrepreneurs think about last because they do it themselves. I'm talking about all of the stuff, all of the $8, $10 an hour tasks that you shouldn't be doing that you're probably doing right now in your business. Email, calendar management, appointment scheduling, dealing with phone calls, complaints, issues, customer service, all of the admin stuff, all right? That is the first system that you need to automate and that you need to make sure is handled without you being directly involved. So the way that we're going to do that is we're going to think about the main things that happen on a day-to-day basis that you need to make sure are delegated or automated and systematized. So the way to do this is really take a look at your day. How much time are you spending every single day on admin work? And what type of admin work is it? So when we talk about email, there's so many great things you could do these days. Number 1 is you can use an automation software like Fixer.ai. That's an awesome one. We use that in our business. Number 2, you can delegate your entire email system to your virtual assistant. That is a $4 to $8 an hour person that can handle everything for you so you never have to touch email again, which is exactly what I do. All your calendar management, your scheduling, your appointments, all of these things should be handled without you with a standard operating procedure and someone that takes care of them, someone or something these days. So when admin work is done, the next thing that really needs to be taken care of in order for your business to succeed and to run and to make a profit is, hey, thanks for tuning in. I'm Danny, and this video is brought to you by my company, All Star VAs. At All Star VAs, our mission, our passion, our goal is to help you implement systems and create a business that runs without you. We do that in a couple of different ways. First of all, we install all the systems that you and your team need to make your business run without you. And second, we do that with automation, with AI, and most importantly, with cost-effective, pre-vetted, and highly trained virtual assistants. You see, just finding a virtual assistant is not enough. It's the implementation where the money is made, and that's where we specialize. If you want to chat with us about putting some jet fuel on your business growth, just hit that link below, fill out the application, we're good to go, set a time, and let's talk sales and marketing, all right? So every business needs customers, right? If you don't have customers, you don't have business. If you don't have sales, you have no business, okay? And one of my mentors used to say, the business of business is lead generation. So like I said, whether you're selling lemonade, whether you're selling Teslas, whether you're selling coaching, right? you got to have sales and marketing. So how do we automate that? And how do we get that off of your plate? Because typically, if you're like most entrepreneurs, when you started your business, the first thing you did was go out and sell some stuff, right? If you're a real estate agent, got to go out and sell some homes, sign some clients. If you're an online coach, you got to go sell some coaching programs, okay? So you probably started doing that on your own when you first started your business, which is perfectly natural. But now we got to get that off your plate. So we do something in my company called the content machine. So when it comes to social media content, email newsletters, all of those types of things, they need to be automated and systematized just like everything else, but it's got to get off your plate. So just as an example, I have a social media manager that runs all of our content. And the content machine goes something like this. Step one is you got to create content that is unique to you, but that follows a proven formula. So you're going to go out and you're going to find other accounts that do what you're doing, but that do it really well and get a good result. So you're going to look for top performing, high performing videos and all of that kind of stuff. Second, you're going to recreate those in your voice, in your tone. And third, you're going to schedule those out using one of many scheduling softwares that are out there. We use a program called Metricool. There's a ton of them. So you schedule your content out, and then what's going to happen is you're going to offer items of value to your potential customers. When they respond to those items of value, you're either going to sell them your product or service, or you're going to invite them to book a call if that's what you do. And speaking of which, if you're interested in supercharging this process for you, what we do at one of my companies, All Star VAs, is we will install the entire system for you to make this all happen, and a virtual assistant that's going to do it all for you, all for between $4 to $8 an hour. If you want to talk a little bit more about that, see how we do it, you can book a call using the link below and we'll walk you through it. See that segue there? And by the way, that's exactly what I'm doing on this video. Hopefully I'm giving you a bunch of value. Some of you will take that and implement that on your own, which is perfectly fine. Some of you will want our help with it and you'll book a call. That's perfectly fine too. So, sales and marketing. We got to have that marketing engine going out, and then we got to have the inbound prospects coming in that want to work with you, again, without you being directly involved. Because if it just relies on discipline and just relies on you making phone calls or doing outbound emails yourself, it's never going to be consistent enough to create an amazing business. All right. And the third thing that every business needs is fulfillment. Fulfillment is the actual process of delivering what it is that you're selling. So just as an example, if you're selling coaching, it's the coaching product, the course, the service. If you're a realtor, it's going out and selling a house to your buyers or selling that property when you list it. Now, once again, fulfillment needs to happen without you. All right, this is one of the most important things I want to mention, is that if anything relies on you, if you say, okay, look, this is all good, but I'm still going to go ahead and fulfill my own, let me guess, because no one can do it as good as you. You know how many times I've heard that from entrepreneurs and clients that we work with? It cannot rely on you. So who's going to do the fulfillment, right? So depending on the business or the service that you're providing, you're going to know better how to automate this and systematize this. But the key is that there's got to be a system and there's got to be an automation, and someone's got to do it that is not you, okay? So just as an example, I was working with a realtor client, and we do work with, you know, all industries. I'm using realtor just because that's kind of my background, and so I can talk about it. And this realtor was showing homes on their own, and I said, why are you doing that? And he said, oh, no one can do it as good as me. No one can show properties like me. And I, of course, called bullshit and said, look, there's a service where you can hire other agents for a very nominal fee, and they can show properties to your clients, open the door, show them the home, and then afterwards, the client has a call with you and says, hey, I liked home number 2, I want to put in an offer. Boom. You're not out showing homes, you're focused on working on your business instead of in your business. And that is the key. If you're doing coaching, okay, we work with a lot of online coaches. We install virtual assistants and systems for them. So think of fulfillment as the actual coaching product you deliver. And so I had a client the other day say, well, but Danny, you know, I do one-on-one coaching. You know, what do I do? And I said, well, you have a couple options. Number one, you can switch that to group coaching, one-to-many. So for example, instead of doing a one-on-one call every week, most of your clients probably are asking the same questions. They probably have the same problems. So why not just create a group call where people can learn from each other? Clients think it's not as good. It's actually better. You learn from each other. You have a mastermind experience, right? You can do that one call, no problem. Or you can hire a coach that's going to do that for you. And then on top of that, you create a community where clients can talk about these things and chat about it. So those are some of the options you could do there. Or you could just outsource the coaching entirely, right? So you can have coaches on your team, on your staff. There are people that have that expertise but can't get clients, and you can contract with them to coach your clients for you. So those are just a couple of examples, but every industry, no matter what business or service or product you're selling, there is a way, I guarantee you, to automate fulfillment. Now, once you nail all three of these, right? Once you have your admin, your sales and marketing, and your fulfillment system, and those are automated and systematized, again, what it does is free you up to work on your business, not in your business. Now your business is not relying on your discipline and your habits to make a profit and to grow and to scale. Now it's just a matter of expanding what you're doing. Now there's other systems, but those are the main ones that every business has to nail. And once you do that, that's when you can really see an explosion in growth, in profit, and ultimately, though, in freedom. And that's really what we're all about. So if you enjoyed this video, I want you to check this video out over here, so that you can continue with everything that we're talking about here and learn even more about how to create a business that runs without you and how to make more money, work less, and have way more fun.